Nice cup of tea, that.
Oh, you deserve it, after that tour of the parish. Here, I've got a little map here for you.
Thanks, Father.
You'll notice I've divided the parish up into two halves. Mine's marked in red and yours is in black.
Did you say two halves, Father?
Oh, you've noticed that one half's bigger than the other, have you?
Yes, twice as big.
Yes, well, you see, the reason that one half's twice as big as the other is that your legs are considerably longer than mine.
Oh, but I thought you used the car for visiting the parish, Father.
That's what I do. What's the length of my legs got to do with driving a car?
Nothing, I suppose.
Is it you, Neil?
Johnny! Well, what are you doing in this part of the world?
I'm a copper. I've just been transferred here.
Oh, John Downes, Father Dudleswell.
Oh.
We were studying for the priesthood together.
Yes, I left after 1 year, and now I frighten people almost as much as you clergymen.
Couldn't stay the course, is that it? Well, I leave you two cronies to talk together. I seem to have forgotten my wallet.
Oh, I'll settle up, Father.
Good day to you.
Yes. I just couldn't believe my eyes.
Well, sit down, Johnny. Another cup and saucer, please, miss.
Thanks, darling.
Well, tell me about yourself.
Well, when I was demobbed from the seminary, I had to go into the Navy.
You saw the world.
All the parts worth seeing, Far East mainly. God, those Oriental women were something.
You didn't marry one, did you?
Nearly married half a dozen of them. I say nearly, old man, but I mean more than nearly, you know what I mean? Oh, sorry, Father, don't want to scandalize a clergyman.
And are you married now, Johnny? Oh, great. What's she like?
Indescribable.
All right, just tell me what she looks like.
My Molly. Long, fair hair, eyes of heavenly blue, two of them. In fact, all the essentials and one or two luxuries.
Kids? Two? Fabulous.
And another one on the way.
Thanks, miss.
We've been wanting maybe twins this time.
Johnny, I'm going to ask Father Dudleswell to have a special collection for the Downes family on Sunday.
What about you?
Me? Oh, well, I was ordained after 6 years.
Yes?
And I came here. And here I am.
I tell you, Father Neil is not at all well.
I know. I've seen him wince from time to time, even when you're not around.
Trouble down here in the engine room. It's probably only due to your cooking, though.
You could do better, I suppose.
Woman, I could bake a better apple pie with nothing but potato peel.
Oh, heavens, I've got a crick in my neck from having to look up to you.
I think I'll get Dr. Daly to look in and give him an overhaul.
When the doctor comes, I'll get him to look at my neck, too. The pain's getting unbearable.
Well, we can put up now, Father Neil.
How am I, Doctor?
Is that a new shirt you've on?
Yes.
Well, you'll live to wear it out, never fear.
But this pain.
Well, you see, your appendix is rumbling like a bull with a bellyache.
Oh, is that what it is?
Strange thing, the appendix, you know. It often gives people terrible trouble, but nobody knows quite what its function is. A bit like our revered parish priest.
I suppose it's got to come out then.
There's nothing to it, Father Neil. You see, what to do is to shave you. A small incision, skin and fat pulled aside, a slice through 2 layers of muscle, and out it pops. It's as easy as pulling a cork out of a whiskey bottle.
This sounds horrible.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Pity they won't let you stay up to watch while it's going on. Mrs. Spring, what luck you happen to be in the vicinity of the keyhole.
I was just passing.
And if our Charles's legs were only 3 feet taller, he'd probably have his ear to the ceiling by now. Good to know you're so popular, Father Neil.
Thanks, Doctor.
Put the lad to bed, keep him rested.
How is he, Donald?
Well,
Is it serious?
I won't ask you to give me a drink, Charles, seeing that this is an official visit and I don't want to be struck off the register.
Tell me.
Appendicitis. I'll arrange for him to have it out before it explodes in his face.
Now, you will see that the hospital treats him right.
Surely. He'll have a bed, you know. Sheets, blankets, everything.
Yes, but you'll see that he's not put into a general ward.
No?
He's a priest, Donald. He'll need to say his prayers in peace and quiet.
I understood, Charles. I'll see to it that he has a private room and is in the best possible hands.
Mr. Downs?
No more for me, love. Mind you make almost as good a cup of tea as my missus.
Thank you very much.
I used to know a girl like you in Singapore.
Did you?
Very well. You're much prettier, of course.
I'll just get rid of this. I'll be back in a moment.
Well, Neil, I've got to get back to my Molly.
Oh, must you?
You better be careful, old mate. You'll end up like me with a wife and a long line of kids.
Well, that's hardly likely, is it?
Yes, that's what I thought when we were in the seminary.
Listen, we must keep in touch.
Sure. I'll look you up sometime.
Bye.
Bye, beautiful.
How are your stitches today, Father?
Very nice, thank you.
Still a few twinges.
Twinges? Oh, yes.
You're a model patient, Father. I heard you were very relaxed under anaesthetic.
Tell me, I didn't say anything while I was out, did I?
Say anything?
Well, you know, swear or anything like that.
No, nothing like that. I remember now the theatre sister did say you were telling funny stories.
What?
Harmless jokes, unintelligible for the most part, but with an Irish brogue.
Thank you, nurse. If I want anything, I will call.
Yes, Mother.
Laudetur Jesus Christus.
May Christ be always praised.
I have come to pray for you. Now your recovery is assured, if it be God's will.
I feel better already, Mother.
More things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of.
St. Paul the Apostle.
Alfred Lord Tennyson.
I'll pray for you too, Mother.
I will appreciate that, if and when you get to heaven.
And what if I get to the other place?
Don't bother. Now, I have something nice for you, Father Boyd. An apple pie.
Oh, just what I wanted, Mother.
You like apple pie, Father Boyd.
Very much.
We will want the dish back, naturally.
Well, I promise not to eat that.
And good God. Good afternoon, Mother Stephen.
Father Downswell?
What have you got there, pray?
What does it look like?
Now you have me there.
I have another present for you, Father Boyd.
Oh, but you've given me far too much already, Mother.
Now, in here is a piece of bone. It is part of the tibia of our Mother Foundress. If you place this relic upon your wound and it heals it immediately, we will know our Mother Foundress is a saint.
And what if it doesn't heal immediately?
We will find other ways of proving she is a saint.
Oh, God, she gave me a shock then.
Me too.
I thought for a moment it was the angel of death standing there.
Oh, she's really very kind, Father. I mean, imagine she baked that with her very own hands.
Oh, it doesn't bear thinking about. Come in, my dear, come in.
What's that, Father?
Now, that's a spare overcoat for your pet tortoise.
Let me do that.
Oh, hello, Mrs. P.
There you are.
Thank you, nurse.
Now, there's a charming girl. Very charming.
Father Neil ought to be in the convent hospital with the nuns.
We just had one of them in here before you arrived.
I tell you, it's not right having a pretty little thing like that hovering round Father Neil all day long.
Oh, what a prude you are, to be sure. Oh, I nearly forgot. I brought you these. I brought you some grapes here. Here we are.
Oh, you shouldn't have, Father. They're so expensive.
Yes. It's my generosity getting the better of me again. Will I try one?
Help yourself.
Oh, they're very good. You'll like these.
Have another.
I brought you flowers, Father Neil, because I know he can't eat these.
I'm worried about Father Neil.
Oh, what cause?
The heart.
Ah, good God, Charles. It was only his appendix that was wrong, and that's in the dustbin by now.
But he's led a very sheltered life, Donald. And for a young man lying on his bed there, he could very easily be swept off his feet.
Have you been at the bottle before I arrived? Which reminds me, this is not an official visit. You're round, I think.
I blame myself, you know, entirely. It was I that put temptation in his way by insisting on him having a private room.
And now he's in the intensive care of a pretty young nurse.
I do not want to lose the best curate I ever had to a woman.
Well, what can I do about it, Charles? Plead with the matron to pull out the pretty nurses and change them for ones with faces like old boots?
I merely wanted you to have a little chat with him.
But why me?
Because you're a man of the world.
Oh.
He'll listen to you when you tell him that marriage is not all it's cracked up to be.
But he know that you put me up to it.
Ah, never. He's a total innocent.
He knows very well by now that your head is a basket full of eels.
And one last word. Don't breathe a word of this to Mrs. Pring. I don't want her worrying unnecessarily.
No, I won't promise, but I'll think about it.
Do you mind if we stop for a few moments, Father?
No, of course not.
It's nice here.
Very pleasant.
I like it here.
So do I.
No one else around?
Except for a few birds.
As far as I'm concerned, you've been an exceptional patient.
Have I?
No complaining when I change your dressing.
Why should I complain?
Oh, some do. You'd be surprised.
I would. Isn't this supposed to be your half day?
Yes. But I volunteered for extra duty.
Very generous of you.
On the contrary. You see, there's something that I desperately wanted to say to you. In private.
Yes?
It's rather embarrassing, really. You're a priest. And I'm supposed to be a good Catholic. And I just... I don't want...
To shock me?
Yes.
Well, this is hardly an electric chair, is it? Don't you think you should tell me?
Yes. You see, I'm in love.
Hello,
Hey.
Doctor. Sit your dimples down there.
I will.
Care for a drink?
I would. Thank you.
Father Dudleswell was telling me the other day that you've been friends now for 30 years.
We have, ever since I came to dwell in this gracious land.
Oh, where were you from originally?
Connemara. Ah, let me tell you, my young boy, about Connemara by the sea. The weather first. The weather of the 7 elements, we used to say. When it was bad, it wasn't worth living, and when it was good, it wasn't worth dying.
Sounds great. Were you an only child, Doctor?
What an original idea, Father Neil. No, I came from a long family. Not so as we'd win any prizes in those parts, mind, but 17 of us.
The rabbits couldn't keep up.
And neither could they. My mother, God rest her soul, only saw her toes 6 months out of every 12.
The heroine.
And it she was. You know, in those days, everyone used to kneel down on the stone kitchen floor of an evening.
For the rosary?
Yes. Including the chickens and the pigs. My God, how those pigs could pray. I tell you, they put us all to shame. Connemara. A cosy sort of place, Connemara. My God, was it green. Thatched cottages with lime-washed walls and deep, cool windows. Blue smoke of a turf fire. Home. But why am I dribbling on like a foolish old man?
As a build-up to Father D's message?
Oh. So you know that I'm his messenger boy?
I guessed.
Oh, they'll never take me on an MI5. How did you guess?
Well, when Mrs. Pring was concerned about me falling for the nurse and Father Duddleswell wasn't, I knew that he was.
Ah, well, that sounds logical enough.
I'll be honest with you, Doctor.
Well, that's a rare thing in a Roman priest, Father Neil.
My heart's broken. There's a beautiful Catholic nurse looking after me
And?
And she's madly in love with one of the doctors here.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yes, well, she's afraid she'd shock me because he's a non-Catholic and, of course, she's still mad keen to marry him.
Oh, sorry. I'll come back later.
Is that the calling?
Yes.
She got a girl like that could coax an ant to give up its anthill.
She gives me butterflies, I can tell you.
Oh, I'll get the pigs to pray for you, Father Neil.
I'd appreciate that.
And now it's time for me to tilt my hat towards the nearest tavern.
Oh, don't tell Father D. He must learn to be more trusting.
Amen to that impossibility.
And less devious.
Oh, yes, indeed, he's very nimble as our Charles. Even his own shadow can't follow him sometimes. What about Mrs. Pring?
Oh, you can tell her. She'll know what to do.
Ah, right.
We're just on the point of leaving, nurse.
Do you wish, Father? Oh, take your time, my dear. We're not in the slightest hurry.
I'll come back.
No, there's no need for you to go. Really, there isn't.
I think there is.
Well, nurse, just before you go, will you tuck Father Neil in nice and comfortably? You're so kind, my dear.
I brought you a Bible. And a rosary.
Do you know, I found one of these in Mother Stephen's apple pie.
Well, the second won't do you any harm.
Oh, good. I'll be able to say 2 Hail Marys at the same time.
And I've asked Mother Stephen to come and visit you again later this afternoon.
Oh, Father, don't you want me to get better?
Now, are you being well looked after, Father Neil?
Very well.
Too well.
I bet you'll miss that pretty nurse when you're discharged tomorrow. A man needs a woman's touch. Don't you agree, Father D?
The boy gets more insolent with every visit. And what in the name of Beelzebub do you think you were trying to do?
What do you mean?
You ignorant lump of a woman, you were trying to encourage that hussy.
I'll say that was his nurse.
Nurse. Showing an ankle to anybody who cared to look.
Oh, you are a prude. You're imagining things.
Did I imagine that when she went out the door, she waved an eyelid at him?
You should trust Father Neil's good sense, I say.
Good God, woman, can't you see the boy's crazy about her? You could pick up little pins from the gleam in his eye.
Oh, rubbish.
Get back to your kitchen, and may you see nothing brighter than coal.
Where are you off to?
To church, to pray that my heart-strung young curate will keep his head. Because if he doesn't, I'll knock it off for him.
Lovely to have you back home, Father Neil. Isn't it, Father D? Enjoy your cottage pie, Father Neil.
It was very nice, Mrs. P.
Thank you, woman. Back to your sinking suds.
He's got so many airs, one of these days he'll take off.
You've been very quiet, Father. Was there something you wanted to say to me?
No? Whatever gave you that idea? As a matter of fact, there was something I wanted to say to you.
Ah.
That pretty young nurse that's been looking after you.
Oh, Nurse Owen. It's pretty. Yes, I suppose she is. How clever of you to notice.
Father Neil, I'm going to tell you something about myself that I've never admitted to a living soul.
Drunken driving.
Worse. Much worse. When I was a young man, I went into hospital to have my appendix out. And I, too, met a pretty nurse. It's very painful.
Oh, yes, having your appendix out is no joke.
I meant, Father Neil, that the nurse was the cause of the pain.
Oh, did she take it out then?
What I'm trying to say is this. I sort of fell head over heels for her. Not that she ever knew. I never told her. I remembered me dedication to our blessed Lord, my love for the church, and my concern for those in my charge. I chose, you see, to bear me cross after our Saviour and be faithful to my priestly vocation. Well, the years passed on. Sometimes slowly, I must confess. And there are no scars now.
Not even from your appendix?
Father Neil.
You didn't have to tell me all this, Father.
I thought it might make it easier for you, lad. Tell me now. Are you in love with Nurse Owen?
Well, everyone falls in love with their nurse, Father, as you discovered when you were my age.
Neil.
I like her more than I can say. But she's not interested in me.
She's not?
Oh, no. She's, marrying a non-Catholic, and she wants me to instruct him before the wedding.
Ah. Well, of course, that puts things in an entirely new light.
Have you told him yet, Father Neil?
Yes.
She knows. You mean to tell me you've been pulling my leg?
I promise I won't tell her about when you were a young man, Father.
But I'll tell you something now. I was pulling your leg.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed. I've still got me appendix.
Yes, I know. Dr. Daly told me.
Donald's in it, too. Oh, well. In my heart's core, there was no mistrust, you know, Father Neil.
No.
No. Put it down to the fondness of an old man. I've been in a tank of misery about you, you know, for days.
Oh, I'm sorry, Father.
If I lost you, lad, I'd be like an odd shoe.
Nice.
Let's shake on it.
Glad to. What's this for, Father?
Just so that in future, you'll remember that I'm still Sheriff of St. Jude's.